great white shark.
Yes. I think we left.
Yes. The end of part 1, I was talking about their teeth.
Yes.
It's going to grab Bruce again. Their teeth. So as I explained at the end of part 1, the teeth at the front are bigger than the ones down the side, because these ones are the ones that they grab with.
Yeah.
So with a great white shark, have you seen when they lunge?
Yes.
They lunge at their prey, and then when they lunge at their prey and they go to grab it, their whole jaw protrudes out of their mouth.
Yes. You sort of like see like this. It looks like their top, like their top is pushed up,
Disappears.
and gum
And
comes out.
Yep.
Yeah.
So their entire jaw will protrude out of their mouth.
Yeah.
And the reason they do that is to grab. So when they grab, it gives them a better grabbing capability, the great white. So when the great white lunges and grabs its prey, the whole jaw protrudes right out of their mouth.
Yeah.
And they grab. And these are what they grab with.
That's cool.
When they're actually doing this, great whites, and like any shark, but great whites don't have an eyelid. So great whites, when they're lunging and when they're grabbing their prey, and when their jaw protrudes out of their mouth, their eye rolls back. So when they roll their eye back, it protects their eye from any damage from the attack.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
So they're more advanced than you and I.
Yeah.
So yeah, so these teeth protrude out, and the reason they protrude out is so that they can grab.
Wow.
That's why they're doing that. When you'll see sharks with these cages, like have you ever watched or been cage diving? You've watched videos and you've been cage diving and whatnot.
Yeah.
Do you think they're actually trying to like bite you?
Well, it seems like that because they come up and they're like,
No, they're actually not. They're actually feeling what it is. They're trying to see if it is edible, and they're trying to see if it is prey.
Yeah.
So the reason they do like bite the cages is to see if it is something that's edible. So that's how they feel things. They don't have hands.
Yeah.
So that's how they feel things. So they don't actually want to bite us.
Yeah.
They don't actually want to bite the object. They want to see if it's actually edible.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
Generally, when a great white bites you, they will let go, because once they've bitten you and they realise, oh, hang on, that's not to my palate, that's not palatable for me, they'll let go. So people generally don't die from great whites eating them. They generally, if they do die from great white shark attack, they do die from like blood loss, that sort of thing. So they don't actually want to eat us. So yeah, and they do. Great whites are unique in their attack.
How so?
Great whites, when they attack, they will grab and shake.
So they're kind of like paralyzing their
So it's
prey.
like they're trying to disable their prey. They're trying to paralyze that prey. So they will shake it and they will disable it. Now what they will do is they will attack, disable, bite, go away.
Wow, that's cool.
And what they will do then is once they've disabled and paralyzed, they'll go back to finish the kill.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
So a great white's pretty much the only one that will do that. Yeah. So the great white will go back after to finish the kill. So they are, like I've said earlier in the first video, they're not an apex predator for no reason.
Yeah.
Do you want to know an interesting fact about a great white?
Yes.
They're feeding.
Spill away.
I'm going to spill it. Great whites, well, if they feed, they can go for 3 months without having to feed again.
Imagine if we could do that. Have feed and I'm not going to eat for 3 months. I'll be fine.
Yep. 3 months they can go without another feed. The great white.
Only the great
white.
white?
Yep.
Wow, that's incredible.
The great white is the shark that can go 3 months without feed.
Wow.
This is why they are so honed. They are such an apex predator, because they are, like I said earlier, they are an opportunistic feeder as well.
Yeah.
So they might have a feed on a big old seal. They may not eat for another 3 months, and that's because they are, the way that the great whites are, their system and the way they are is so amazing, because if their prey is not around or there is no feed, there's not an abundance of feed, they have 3 months worth of energy in their body that they can store. And they don't have to feed for another 3 months.
Imagine if we had energy that we could store for 3 months, and then if we didn't have any food, we like burst that energy out, be like, yeah, I got energy, woohoo, let's go. You know?
Yep, that's incredible. So the great white shark can go 3 months, up to 3 months without feed.
Wow, that's incredible.
Yeah, it's extremely They are amazing, and this is why I chose to specialise in great whites. They're amazing, and the way that they are and the way they move is just absolutely incredible. And you know, anyone who gets a chance to go cage diving or swim with a great white, absolutely 100% do it.
Yeah.
Now, great whites are found in every ocean water across the world except the Antarctica.
And why is that? Too cold for them?
The temperature's not right for them.
Yeah.
So great whites prefer a water temperature anywhere between the 11 degrees Celsius through to about 23 degrees Celsius. So that's why South Australia and WA it's perfect for them. That's why we have great whites here and they have them over there, because they prefer those temperatures. So they do prefer the cold water. Great whites, do you know where the most abundant of great whites are?
I'm going to say what you told me about Shark Alley.
Yes. Great whites are found around Dyer Islands in South Africa, which is known as Shark Alley.
I remember you telling me about that.
Shark Alley is where the largest population of great whites are in the world. Is in South Africa.
So that kind of, I wouldn't say their main home, but where they like to go south.
Sharks, great whites don't actually live anywhere. Like, they don't live at Neptune Islands here in South Australia. They don't live anywhere. Great whites are what we call nomadic. But they are also very territorial. So if a great white is getting feed, now this is why they are so abundant at Shark Alley in South Africa, because the Dyer Islands is close to what is called Seal Island in South Africa. So it's where all your South African fur seals and sea lions and that are. So that's why they are more abundant there, because that's where their main food source is. They're not too far from their main food source.
So they're for a little trip. I want lunch or dinner.
Exactly. So that's why the Dyer Islands in South Africa, Shark Alley, is where you're going to find the bigger sharks. And you're going to find them in more abundance. Because their food source is not too far away at Seal Island.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
Great whites, when you're in the water with them too, watch their behaviour. I swim with great whites, no problem. Hey, you can swim not saying do it, but you can. Just watch their behaviour. Any change of behaviour, do not grab their tail. Startles them. They're going to come around, they're going to want to bite you, so they're going to come back around, they're going to want to bite you. Great whites.
So can you touch here?
I generally touch them here.
Yeah.
So don't charge at them like a bull at a gate, because they're going to go, your prey. I want to, So just along the side. Don't grab their tail. Pectoral fins, when they drop, get out.
Is that a sign of them attacking?
They are going to become aggressive. And if they start to move a little more quickly, so just watch their behaviour and all that sort of thing. So great whites, they are so amazing, but they are in abundance in South Africa. Like I said, at the Dyer Islands in South Africa, which is commonly called Shark Alley. So if you've ever heard of Shark Alley, that's what Shark Alley is. It's in South Africa near the Dyer Islands, which is not too far from Seal Island, which is their main source. So that's why they're there. So they don't actually live anywhere. So they are nomadic, and nomadic means they will move from area to area. And great whites, all sharks, but particularly the great white, will use the magnetic field of the earth to pick up location. Wow. And they use electrolocation to find prey and that sort of thing. Great whites, the interesting thing about great whites is in close range, they can pick up the electric field of a marine animal that is buried.
Wow. That's pretty cool.
So because great whites are so acute, they have such an acute sense and picking up of electric fields, that their electric field sensors are more acute than any other shark. They can actually pick up in close range, if they're in close range of it, a marine animal that is actually buried, so they can pick up on that electric field. So just because a marine animal is buried, it doesn't mean that it's safe for a great white shark. Great whites, I was talking about their food source great whites will attack other great whites. So if the great white is smaller, it will attack that great white. Another very interesting thing about the great white is if a great white smells the blood of another great white, it will swim away very quickly.
And why is that?
They don't want to get attacked. They don't want to get attacked. So they can smell their another great white's blood.
Yeah.
So if they smell that blood,
They're out of there.
they're gone, and they will swim away quite quickly. Yeah. So now there's a video getting around, and again it was filmed by Calypso Star Charters in Port Lincoln, South Australia, of a shark on its back, swimming on its back. I'm going to clear this up. The shark is not sick. It has not been injured in any way. Great whites will use what is called tonic immobility. Now, when great whites, when they start to feel a little hyped up, and they're around these cages and they're feeling a little hyped up, what they will do is they will turn themselves on their back, and it gives them an immobilization. It's like a hypnotism. So it relaxes all of their muscles in their body. It relaxes their whole body. So it's just like it immobilizes them. It just allows them to. It disorients them. So they feel a bit disoriented. They feel relaxed. And that just centers them back again.
So it's kind of like what we do if like we're feeling a bit, hyped up. We do meditation. It's their form of meditation kind of thing.
Absolutely, yeah. We will give credit to Calypso Star for it, but we will include this video just in the corner of this video. But just have a look at what tonic immobility is. And all it is just the shark has obviously been like, oh, I'm feeling a little hyped. So he's just turned himself on. She's just turned herself on her back, and she's just trying to calm herself. So it's a calming feeling for them. So, and great whites will do it quite often. Killer whales use that against them.
Oh, okay.
Killer whales will deliberately knock a great white onto their back.
Wow.
To immobilize them and kill them.
That's nasty.
Which again we'll get into that when we talk about orcas, the killer whale. But now there's one big question. Now I'm not a huge fan of any marine animal in captivity, but they are there for a reason. They are. Yeah. A lot of these places, they like SeaWorld, that they have breeding programs, which is good. Now, you've even asked me. Why you can't keep a great white shark in captivity? Because many people try. Great white sharks cannot, and will never be able to be in captivity, because in captivity they become disoriented. Because of their habitats. Their habitats are a lot different to other sharks.
Yeah.
Okay. When they are in captivity, they become disoriented. They stop feeding. They will stop eating. So the first thing you will notice is they will stop eating, and the next thing you will notice is with the disorientation, they will keep banging into the side of the aquarium. Their senses just stop working. Now this is just great whites. No other shark. No other shark. Just great whites will become disoriented in captivity. This is why they can never ever be in captivity. It affects their magnetic field. It affects their electrolocation. Great whites, because they are so acute, they can never ever be kept in captivity because of this disorientation. So being kept in captivity will disorient them. They will become disoriented. They will stop feeding. Once they stop feeding, they will start bumping into the side of the aquarium. To answer the question you've been asking. Very interesting. It has been captured on video. We will include the video while I'm talking about it. Now, what great whites will do is called gill fluffing. Okay. Do you know what gill fluffing is? I have no idea. No. Gill fluffing is when the great white, I'm going to put him down. The great white, if it's approaching an aquarium. Now, this is when I was talking about great whites with smaller great whites. Yep. So just say a smaller great white sees a bigger great white coming towards them, what they will do is they will puff out their gills, shake their whole body, and fluff their gills. So it's called gill fluffing. So it's like a shake. So they'll puff them out and they'll shake them. They'll open their mouth. Do you know? So as they're fluffing, it's called gill fluffing. As they're fluffing their gills out, they're shaking their body vigorously. When they open their mouth, to that shark coming towards them, they're bigger.
Wow.
So what they're doing is trying to go, hang on, you're bigger than me, so I'm going to make myself look bigger to you. Yeah. So the great white gill fluff. So this is called gill fluffing. When they fluff out their gills and they shake vigorously.
That's really cool, actually.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
Yeah. Now great whites, females like other sharks, the female great white is bigger than the male.
Okay.
So you can generally, without looking for the claspers, which is the male, basically two penises. Without looking for that, you can generally tell, as a rule, but it doesn't always happen. But as a rule, the female is generally bigger than the male.
Wow.
So the females can grow anywhere from 15 to 16 feet, and the males can grow anywhere between 11 to 13 feet.
Wow. So do we know what is the biggest great white recorded?
The biggest great white recorded at this point in time is, her name is Deep Blue, and she's around the 22-foot mark. She's about 7.5 meters long. So she's the biggest great white known at the moment.
Yeah.
There is said to be a bigger one,
Yes.
but he or she has not been measured yet. So
She's disappeared, hasn't she?
yeah. If we're talking about sharks that are great whites that are recorded, Deep Blue is the biggest one recorded. She's 22 feet.
That's pretty weird.
Now great whites can weigh anywhere from 1,200 to 2,400 pounds. So it's about a ton. Yeah. The biggest great white has recorded 7,380 odd pounds, and that one was caught at Kangaroo Island. So it was around 23 feet, 24 feet.
Yeah.
And that one was at Kangaroo Island, which is in South Australia.
Yes.
So we do have some biggies here,
We
but
do.
Shark Alley has the biggest.
Yeah.
Because that's where their main food source is. Now, great whites, when they take a chomp, their bite force is 18,519 newtons,
Wow.
which is about 4,000 psi.
That's crazy.
That's a big bite.
That is a big bite.
It is a massive bite. So when they take a bite at you, you're probably generally not going to get away.
Yeah, no.
Because they do have a huge bite force,
Yeah.
great whites. So 18,519 newtons, 4,000 psi to a bite.
That really is.
It is.
Absolutely incredible.
It is. So look, they are beautiful. They're my favourite shark, and that's why I chose to specialise in them.
Yeah.
Because they are my favourite shark. Yes, I was attacked by one when I was younger. I chose to become a marine biologist and study because of that, because I wanted to understand more as to why I was attacked. Now, great whites are known to have had more attacks on humans, but the bull shark is known to have had more fatal attacks on humans.
Yeah.
So even though the great white has a reputation of having more attacks on humans,
Yeah.
they're generally not fatal.
Yeah.
As a rule, yes, there have been fatalities from a great white. Of course there has.
Of course.
But the bull shark is the one that has more fatal attacks on humans.
Yeah.
So the great whites really have got a pretty bad rap. But it's been my experience with great whites that they're not as aggressive as what they're portrayed as.
No.
So do you have any more questions regarding the great white?
Do you have what a great white tooth looks like? Do you have a tooth to share with us, to show us?
I do actually. Yes.
So we've got a board so we can see it properly.
This one here isn't real. Okay,
Okay.
so this one is a replica. So this is what a great white tooth looks like. Now I'm going to lift it up a little bit so we can see the serrated edging.
So this is what? This a replica.
This is a replica. We'll give them a bit of a plug. Calypso Star Charters in Port Lincoln, South Australia, sells these replicas.
Yes.
So you can get them from Calypso Star Charters. They do have them online, so look them up and get yourself a little replica great white tooth. But this one is real. So you can actually see the serratings better because it is real. So you can see the serrated edging much better on this one. So this one is real. This one I did get legitimately. Someone who I love very much gave this one to me, and I'll never ever part with it. This one was shark wasn't harmed, it was just left by the shark. So sharks do lose their teeth, as I explained in the first part of this, how their teeth move around when they lose a tooth. So that's the sort of thing I'm talking about. So this one is more from a juvenile great white, so this one's smaller. So as I explained, their front teeth are bigger as well.
Yeah, overall sharks are incredible.
They are
very majestic.
They are. Yeah, the great white in particular is one of my favourite sharks. Now, we did this video now, today, because we wanted you to be armed and ready with information about the great white shark, because in the not too distant future, we are going to be doing an entire show out there.
Yes, we are.
The entire show out there, we are going to go under, and we're going to take you on a virtual underwater swim with a great white shark. So we're going to take you up close to a great white shark. We're arming you with this information before we've done this video. Before we do that show, we wanted you to have the information about a great white shark, because we will be getting in the water with one or several and show
up.
Exactly. And we will be taking you on a complete show underwater with a great white shark, so watch out for that one.
Yes,
and I think that's everything.
that is everything.
Yeah, so it's bye for now.
Yes, bye.